When the world needs saving, these are the characters who serve as our guardian angels, or our destruction. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Shin Megami Tensei protagonists.
Persona.
For this list, we're looking at the most compelling protagonists from this long-running franchise, including the mainline series and spin-offs such as Persona. As the SMT games tend to be very heavy on story, a major spoiler warning is now in effect. I'm Todd Habercorn, and having contributed to the SMT world and various characters, this ought to be a fun trip down memory lane. Let's get ready to shin our gamis. Oh, hashtag that pun totally doesn't work.
Let's get ready to mojo!
He has spoken. Your life is now irrevocably changed.
Number 10, Hibiki Kuze, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2.
仕方ないからといって人を犠牲にするやつを行かせるわけにはいかないだろう。
感情的だな。
そうだよ。人間だから。
Not every savior has to be super serious, even in the face of the terrifying unknown. Taking on a more humorous and laid-back role, Hibiki is one of the only protagonists in the SMT series who proves that being comical needn't automatically detract from or undermine a dark, overarching narrative. Despite his troubled childhood, Hibiki manages to remain upbeat, though he is by no means averse to showing a more aggressive side when the situation demands it. Flashes of darkness aside, his charismatic nature dominates and is what helps to bring his group together to save the day, along with summoning demons, of course. Number 9, Serph, Digital Devil Saga series. Who knew a character seemingly lacking any basic traits and emotion could make for such a complex and compelling lead? While that may sound contradictory, Serph is a testament to just how complex and nuanced a character can feel, even with many of the decisions being left to the player. Leader of the Embryons, Serph helps to wage war against all the other tribes as a means to reach the epicenter of the junkyard, only to find out how deep the truth about himself really goes. Given that Serph stars in not one game, but two, we really don't have enough time to do his character justice. But in short, his is one of great determination and inner strength. Number 8, Aleph, Shin Megami Tensei 2. Before it became something of a cliche, the idea of an amnesiac protagonist was the perfect setup. Taking place several years after the events of the first game, this retro sequel finds the world left in turmoil. The last haven resides in Tokyo Millennium, and while admission is high, Aleph manages to get in via his gladiatorial skills. While most SMT protagonists tend to be average Joes, Aleph takes the hero title up a notch by wearing the title of the Messiah, sent by God himself to bring about peace to mankind. Of course, whether he does or not is up to you. Number 7, Maya Amano, Persona 2, Eternal Punishment. When the pressure of shadows, demons, and everyday burdens has you feeling overwhelmed, it takes an insane amount of willpower to keep an optimistic outlook on life. Having suffered through many hardships in innocent sin, Maya was given a second chance in eternal punishment, but at the cost of being alienated from the ones she held most dear. It's this, along with her ongoing conflict against demons, that pushes Maya to her limits, making her both one of the nicest, yet most tragic Persona users to bear the title of protagonist. Number 6, Flynn, Shin Megami Tensei 4.
What you do will create a world.
Becoming the guardian of a city comes with the territory when you're a samurai, but what happens when demons start popping up everywhere with an apocalyptic endgame in mind? You call the Avengers. No. It falls to a newly appointed swordmeister and a team of apprentices to stop them. Okay, so the Avengers. Unlike other protagonists, Flynn is a designated warrior, but lacks the savior moniker shared by many others. It's ultimately his actions and their place of the scales of law and chaos that lead to the showdown between heaven, hell, and earth. Or Hell Part 2, right? Ooh, too real. As if he hadn't done enough, Flynn would later down the line aid his successor in the protagonist role, Nanashi, in Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse.
But I am the only one who can save humanity. Humanity will save itself.
Number 5, Raidou Kuzunoha the 14th, Devil Summoner series. Using devils and demons as part of a detective-like agency might seem odd, but that's all part of what makes Raidou so uniquely appealing. What makes this cloak-wearing badass such a fearsome protagonist isn't his control over demons or even his charismatic appeal, but rather his sheer strength as a human, even if he is a tad on the introverted side. One of the few SMT protagonists to fight head-on more than resort to more fiendish attributes, his skills as a swordsman are unmatched. Well, clearly he hasn't met the Dread Pirate Roberts. Of course, like any fantasy game, his investigation grows into a much larger one, taking on occult groups and eventually having to stop the apocalypse from threatening mankind. Again. Number 4, Yu Narukami, Persona 4.
So.
When you're a certified city slicker, adjusting to a more quiet life in the countryside can be tough, especially when there's a serial killer on the loose and people are being pulled into a dangerous pocket dimension through their TVs. Does this bother you? Hell no. This Persona user may be more on the quiet side, but he's unflinching in his pursuit of the truth, not to mention a beacon of hope that perfected the art of maxing out social links. When he's not helping his friends overcome their personal trauma or dispatching shadows, you can expect to find him rocking those shades and making one or all of his female companions weak at the knees. Hail to the king, baby.
Dude, you can't hog all 3 of them at once!
I can, 'cause I'm the king. Number 3, Makoto Yuki, Persona 3. While he's certainly one of the more stoic and reserved leads, especially where Persona is concerned, the boss still remains one of the strongest and most well-composed protagonists in the SMT series to date. His willingness to sacrifice himself, the dynamics he shares with the other members of the specialized extracurricular execution squad, his choice in waifus, all have managed to shape him into a silent lead that still stands at the pinnacle. The dude literally had the power of the universe in the palm of his hand. Top that.
お帰りなさい、誠さん。
Number 2, Demi-fiend, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. Maybe being a blank slate isn't always what it's cracked up to be. Injected with a living demon parasite, what was once the human named Naoki was reshaped and reborn into the being known as Demi-fiend. Wielding monstrous powers, he's chosen to set out and make the world anew. Only, he'll have to do it alone. Where other SMT games have you gather a party of like-minded individuals, Nocturne sees you tackle everything by your lonesome, personal demons included. It's the crushing weight placed on Demi-fiend's shoulders that truly makes him one of the more interesting protagonists. Not having companions to constantly fall back on for support and making those gruelingly tough decisions? Well, yeah, that's gonna suck.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Joker here. Sorry, wrong franchise. I mean Persona 5.
What a show-off. You're so reckless, you know that?
Convicted of a feckless crime, this most recent addition to the SMT Protagonists Club managed to take the burden of being regarded as a troubled student and wannabe criminal and turned it into a career. Only difference is that he's stealing the hearts of wicked adults and making them amend for their misdeeds. Very much the bad boy with a heart of gold, the leader of the Phantom Thieves is all about rebelling against oppressive authority and bringing out the good in the most insidious of individuals. And boy, does he make it look stylish. No wonder this masked rebel somehow found his way into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Smash is looking cool. Eh, Joker?
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.